Come on in, come on in. Tell a friend, tell a friend. It's cold in Cleveland.
It's not in LA.
It's cold in Cleveland. It's not freezing or anything like that, but there's a little nip nip. The trees, the trees are so gorgeous. They're starting to change. It's so pretty. Come on in, say hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hoi, hoi.
Hello, Lorenzo.
Hey, Lorenzo. Woo. This is a cute little beat. I like this one.
Yeah.
Kind of peppy. I get done with you ladies tonight. I'm gonna flat iron. We're gonna find out because I need to get her trimmed. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Miss Purple Rain is running just a few minutes behind, but she will be joining us as soon as she can. So, yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, all you Purple Rain fans.
She's coming.
She's coming. Just hang in there.
Yeah.
Life happens. You know, this show is live, so things.
Life be lifing all the time.
Ex-
All the time.
Yeah, so just hang on. She will be joining us, all y'all. So, hello everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome to another marvelous Monday on Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. I am your hostess with the mostest. I am Ms. JewCee. And I have with me tonight one of my two beautiful, gorgeous, sexy, alluring, just always on point, melanated queen. Tonight we have with us Miss Siren in the house.
Hello, beautiful people.
Oh. She went to Queenly. She went to Queenly. She went. And everybody's in the bed with Miss JewCee tonight. So
Snuggle in, y'all. Snuggle in.
it's snuggling time. It is a little nip nip in Sea Town. It's a little nip nip right now. So I got like 3 blankets. I
You got blankets on and
refuse.
I got fans on. Yeah.
I refuse to turn the heat on. I refuse. I refuse. I rebuke you. I will not be turning on the gas yet, the heat yet.
He said she
So,
rebukes turning on the heat.
woo, it's not time. We gonna hold up a minute. We're gonna hold up a minute on that. We're gonna hold up. If you are out in chat, any of our chats, please say hello. Let us know where you are and where you're from. But what's going on with you, Siren? How are things out west?
Things out west are cool. Uh, they are just actually, no, I can't say cool. I'm gonna say that we have nice weather.
Whatever. Here we go
We
with the
got
weather.
that. So, I mean, think about it this way: you guys had great weather, and we had the cold shit out here.
It, your idea of cold is what exactly?
Anything below 50.
Wow.
But I also don't live in a state that like where my area we don't like get like that cold. So for it to get there is like when especially when we're supposed to be having like three digit temperatures right now. We have been fluctuating between the 70s and the high 80s. That's not normal.
It's
It is what it is.
October.
Yeah, that's not normal though. We normally have hot weather right now.
Well, I'm ready for snow. Almost.
The
Almost.
snuggle weather. The snuggle weather.
I like the fire outside. Is I don't I want I just want all
I don't
that.
want the snow. Yeah, I don't need the snow ever again.
I like it. I found out I am not a not seasonal girl. I need to have all my seasons. I lived in Georgia for a little bit, for those of you that know me. And I moved down there during the winter, and that was my first winter with no snow. I cried like a baby. I was not prepared for that. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I
I
think I
think
would.
if you're used to it, it's a little different, and if you like it, um, I happen to love it when it snows here in Cleveland, and it's so beautiful to see it come in off the lake, and it's a little treacherous, but it is
I mean, I like to
gorgeous.
see it from afar.
Yeah,
And
well,
that's what I do
you
here because
definitely you
snow
definitely
mountains.
got that afar part covered this year.
Yeah, because we get them in the mountains. I can see the snow-capped mountains and stuff. That's enough. That's close enough for me.
Okay, all right,
I'm
okay.
good on that. Yeah. So I do get to see it.
Oh,
I don't get to feel it. That's what I don't want. I don't want to feel it.
you don't want to feel.
I'm good. Yeah.
Don't you want to catch the snowflakes on your tongue and stuff? Okay. Anyway, let
No.
us let us let us
I'm
get
sorry.
going.
I was never that girl. I was never her.
See, now I do. I enjoy the snow, but
I want to be
I tell
naked
you
on
what
summer
we'll do.
days. That's what I prefer. I want to be naked. I don't want to have to clothe up. I want to be naked.
Okay. Everybody heard that. Everybody heard that. Okay, so you want to see Danny naked for a good time. Anyway,
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so let us go ahead and are we ready for the scores?
Yes, we are ready for the scores.
For the
Please give me some good
scores?
news. Give me some good news right now.
Give you some good news right now.
Yes, I need some good news.
Well, we are definitely going to be telling you about these scores. So, right now, live going on are the Cowboys versus the Chargers. And looks like it's
Or cowgirls.
Cowboys. It looks like it's all tied up 7-7 going into halftime. So, um, okay. That's not an exciting game, but let's go with the Chiefs and the Broncos, shall we? They played on Thursday, and it looks like the Chiefs rode that pony, honey. They rode the Broncos. 19-8 is the final score
Mm,
there. The Chiefs 19, the Broncos 8. Next, we have the Ravens and the Titans, and the Ravens beat the Titans 24-16.
mm.
Titans, you could have helped the girl out, but no, you had to lose. Ugh. Okay, so the Commanders and the Falcons, and for those of you that are as old as I am, the Redskins. Um,
That part.
yes, they're
But we
gonna
have to be politically correct because that is not right to call them that. So yes, the commanders.
the Commanders and the Falcons. Looks like those Commanders won 24-16. Okay, 24 to
What
16.
happened, Atlanta? What happened?
Then we got the Vikings and the Bears. Well,
I
looks
already know.
like the Vikings beat the Bears 19-13.
I
The
feel
Bears
like
are
I'm in an abusive relationship with them. I just can't leave them alone.
the Bears are 1-5. Oh my goodness. It's a rebuilding year. Okay. Seahawks and the
You said it once a
Bengals.
year, but I'll take it again.
Seahawks and the Bengals. Daggone it, Seahawks. Couldn't you just win the damn game? But no, you got to let the Bengals win 17-13. That's a
What'd you
low
call them?
score.
What you call them last week? Bum-
Bungles. The Bungles. Now, if y'all didn't see this game, I don't know what to tell you, but it was the game of the century. The 49ers, who were undefeated, came
Mm.
to Cleveland. Uh-huh. Yes. And we sent them packing. It is Victory Monday in Cleveland. The Browns won 19-17 over the 49ers. And the defense set a record that will now be in the books with the NFL for having the least amount of yards for the first 5 games of the season. They only have given up 1,005 yards all season so far. So, way to go, defense. Way to go, Brownies. Yes, yes. I watched that game. It was wonderful. And I want to thank Mother Nature for the swirlies because that's why that boy missed that field goal. Thank you for the swirlies. Okay, the next is the Saints and the Texans. Looks like the Texans beat those Saints 20
Mm.
to 13. Then we have the Colts and the Jaguars, and it looks like the Jaguars handed the Colts another loss 37 to 20. The Dolphins and the Panthers. Yeah, the Dolphins whooped the Panthers, but 42 to 21. The Panthers are 0 and 6. Mm, mm, mm. Patriots and the Raiders. Looks like the Raiders beat them Patriots. Yes, 21 to 17. The Patriots are 1 and 5. Lions and the Buccaneers. Looks like the Lions beat those Buccaneers. Thank you.
Mm.
20 to 6. Yes. Cardinals and the Rams. Looks like the Rams had the Cardinals for lunch. Okay. The Rams beat the Cardinals 26 to 9. Eagles and the Jets. It looks like the Jets pulled it off and beat those Eagles. Okay, they are not undefeated. 20 to
Uh-oh.
14. And the Bills and the Giants. Looks like the Bills beat the Giants 14 to 9. And want to make sure that I take a moment here and let people know in that contest there was a very serious injury to Damian Harris. He was carted off the field on an ambulance with a neck injury. Reports are saying most of it was precautionary, I guess you could say, but he had a thumbs up, and they're saying that he has feeling, he has full movement,
Good.
so he's doing very, very well. And I also know that some people have been showing the pictures of Damar Hamlin, who is a teammate of Damien's and who is the young man that suffered the cardiac arrest. Um, Folks, PTSD is real, and that young man will have that for a while. So give him some grace and give him some space. Okay? Please. Please, please, please. Okay. That's all the scores. That's all the scores tonight. It was a great day yesterday here in Cleveland for the football game. Woo, they pulled that one out. Yes, they did. Ooh, wee.
Well, I know you are proud of your brownies.
Yes, I am, because they doing it without Deshaun, they doing it without Chubb, they doing it out without Patino, they doing it without Conklin. And so, these are a lot of these are our starters, man, and they're gone. We got out of that group, 3 of them are gone for the season. So three out of
Mm.
that four. So, but very proud of them. They hung in there, and it was a scrappy game. It was a scrappy game, and but San Francisco, just a little advice: don't come to Cleveland acting an ass before the game starts.
I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's
Don't
not a
do
good
that.
look.
Not a good look, because you just boy, you just got them boys all fired up. You just don't know
Especially
what you did.
especially when you get your butt kicked.
Right? Don't. Mm-mm.
You
Just
acted a fool and then you got your butt kicked too.
right. Just tick lock it.
Yeah, make it
Just
make sense.
right. So, are you ready, ma'am? I'm so excited.
I
I
am.
I cannot wait. So, we have a great topic tonight, and we want everyone to make sure that get your pen and paper ready, because you're going to get some knowledge this evening. And Miss Siren is going to take the lead on this one this evening, but we will be joining in. Hopefully, Miss Purple Rain will make it.
She will. She
But
better.
got our topic for tonight is communication styles. Okay.
So this is more of understanding them. So we're gonna get like pretty much the fundamental layouts because this is some things that we probably already know, but it's just nice to have a okay, I thought so. Yeah, confirmation on these things. So
Hold
today's
on one
topic.
second. Hold on one second. Need to interrupt you with
Hey, there's our girl. See, didn't I say she was gonna make it?
yes, you did. I was like, oh no. All right.
How are
We're
you,
just
our love?
uh-oh. She froze up. Can she hear us?
I don't know. I think she froze up.
She's either going super slow.
Or so fast that we can't even see it.
Well, she's having a few technical difficulties, so Miss Purple Rain will wait until you come back and join us.
Okay, now say something.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
now we can.
How are you, love?
Keep going.
Okay, doke.
Okay.
Keep talking what you were talking about.
Okay. We were actually starting the topic of understanding communication styles. So we're gonna delve into the topic that is fundamental in every aspect of our lives, and that is actually communication and listening styles. So we're going to talk first about understanding communication styles. To begin, we're going to explore various communication styles that people often exhibit in their interactions. These styles are not rigid categories, but rather represents general approaches to communication. So, first is assertive. So, an assertive communicator expresses their thoughts, needs, and feelings clearly and confidently while respecting the rights of rights and opinions of others. So to me, I, that's probably the one that most people I believe would want to be, or
Okay.
maybe, or maybe you're that in certain situations. You might within your romantic relationship, you might be the assertive one. You might not. You might be the next one, which is passive. Passive communicators tend to avoid conflict often at an expense of expressing their own needs and desires. They may struggle with assertiveness. So to me, I'm feeling like that's like one end of the spectrum, the other end of the spectrum. And then we come to the middle of it. I'm sorry, no, then we have another one, which is aggressive. Aggressive communicators prioritize their own needs and opinions, sometimes to the detriment of others. They can be confrontational and may not listen well. I can admit, I think I've exhibited all three of these so far, myself personally. In my life, I know I can say that. And then the other last one is passive aggressive. This style combines element of both passive and aggressive communication. People using passive aggression Passive aggressive communication may appear passive, but on the may appear passive on the surface, but express resentment or resistance indirectly. That last one is like I found that it's like a pet peeve, but yet I have found that I've done it, and
Okay.
I didn't realize that I was actually doing it. Like, what are some for you guys as far as those four goes? What are some ways that you have? Hmm. How can you see yourself in any of these? How do you see yourself in any of these? And how you communicate? I know you're the communication guru, Juicy. So,
No, I'm not. I'm just little
what's
common sense helps. A little common sense. Um, I think that for probably been all of them. I think all of us probably have a little bit of it. Each one of them, each one of those in us when we communicate, because I think it's based on who you're communicating to and um who or what the situation is that you're communicating about. Like you might be more aggressive in talking if you're angry or if you're upset. If you're trying to get your point or you're passionate about something. So you tend to be your conversation might be a little more heightened. Your voice might be a little more raised. Um, then there's other times when, maybe you're assertive. I also think about the word firm when you say assertive. Um,
hmm
being um, being able to express yourself in a way that not only are you trying to get your point across, but you might be a little firm with it. You might be, very much steadfast in what you're trying to tell somebody or what you're trying to say to someone. Um,
the thing I like about that one is where it says it's clearly and confidently expressed. You're able to clearly and confidently express. That's what I get from it.
and I think once again, if we're talking about if you're in a meeting situation, um, you might be the expert on something, or you might be um someone that has the most knowledge, or so you're able to be confident and talk about something that you have knowledge on. I think that allows you to have a lot of confidence, as you said. And then you have your people that are passive, which being a switch, being a submissive, I know how to be passive with my conversation, very, maybe even very little conversation, um, as far as, vocal goes. But um, sometimes you can come off aggressive. And I know I've done that too, especially in business, um, because number one, some people want to tell you how to do your business and they don't know how to do their own. So you might take,
Yeah.
you might take something like the wrong way. Okay. So Miss Purple Rain is having some technical difficulties. So she's having problems with her computer tonight. So she's going to chime in, hopefully from one of the other platforms she could possibly type in with that. Um, in the chat. She might be able to get into the chat. Uh, I think being, we talked about the three C's, and we talked about being able to have communication skills. Um, but some people, honestly, they just and I'm noticing this a lot. Some people just don't know how to talk to people anymore.
And that's the reason for this whole subject. because we think that we're doing something that we're not doing. We think that we're saying something, and how we're saying, what we're saying, where we're saying, that someone, you're just supposed to get it because I get it. Understanding these things, these are communication styles. So if you are a person who is a passive person, you're talking to an aggressive person, that might be a clash, or is bound to be a clash. Or if you're an assertive person and you are a highly passive person, that assertive person is going to kind of understand that they can walk all over you if they wanted to. They may not do it because they're a good person, but they know that they can do that. And if you don't know that that's you, you don't know how people are, how you're coming across to people, as well as you might be reading something that is not there. But if you are able to communicate that, then you could find out with those three C's. So you want to go ahead and continue with aggressive or passive aggressive?
Um, I'm sure at some particular point in time I've done that, had a, started out one way and ended up another, or um conversation gets uh heated or gets uh confrontational, and then sometimes you have to turn around and retract. You have to turn around, and you start out one way, be taken to a higher level, so to speak, and then you might come down. Maybe you misunderstood something. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
you weren't listening well, so therefore maybe you disseminated something incorrectly. You disseminated some information incorrectly. um
She's in the chat.
so I think you can, I know, like I said, I think in different situations we've probably been in all of these categories at some particular point in time.
I found out I would go passive aggressive if I was fearful. If I was afraid that I wasn't going to get the answer that I wanted,
Hmm.
I realized that I did go to a passive aggressive, that I would do that. And now that I've caught myself doing it, it's like, oh, but you don't like when people do that to you. Kind of makes you check yourself.
Yeah, and I think too, the other, like I said, and I feel like nowadays, because I think we talked a little bit about this last week, but I think nowadays what I'm really, really seeing is a lot of these young folks, or a couple weeks ago rather, a lot of these young folks don't have any conflict resolution. They do not know how
Mm,
to get through a situation without violence or without
a meltdown
going teetotaling off over some of the most insignificant stuff you ever want to hear or see.
because people have fixed it and didn't allow. And I don't think that we do that intentionally. I think we look at it. Okay, well, if I protect or if I shield from something, then they won't have to deal with. They won't have to go through, and they won't have to feel what I felt. And I didn't like what I felt, and I'm putting on them what I would have felt or what I did feel, not understanding that they have to go through it in order to even just figure life out for them. But and that's I feel like that goes along with this.
And it can, and I think I'm looking at it from a standpoint, okay, a lot of people know I drive Uber for a living, and because it allows me a lot of freedom and a lot of, time to do things that I want to do. Um but I meet people. I meet a lot of people. I've met thousands of people with the rides that I've done. And I'm finding these young girls that get in the car, young girls, young guys, mostly it's girls, so I will say that. For me, that are getting in my car, mostly that are young females. They get in the car and they are either bitter, angry. How are you so angry and so aggressive with your tone, with your speech, with your words, with your wording. So aggressive, and you like 16, 17 years old. You haven't even lived life yet.
Someone didn't listen. It's the music. Well, it's got to start somewhere else. How does it get into the music? So people are not listening. People are not being feeling seen, heard, or understood, or validated for that matter. Which is why these communicate knowing what these communication styles and listening styles are is actually very important. How do you get through life? I mean, well, shit. How do we get through life before knowing it?
Well, and here's the thing too. I mean, I agree that there's a lot of outside influences that are not necessarily, and I agree to a degree, about music, because I know a lot of these kids listen to. We all do. We all listen in our genres, in our eras. We all listen to maybe some things musically that we shouldn't have, or we shouldn't listen to, but because they have the right to say what they want to say, um it's kind of out there. I'm not a fan of music that has to use the B word to describe uh to describe women every other eh, I mean every sentence, every I don't think that that's and I don't necessarily see that as freedom of speech. And I think what has happened with that is it may have started out one way to kind of prove a point, but it got out of hand. It got very much out of hand. Now I have young people in my car, young girls in my car, calling each other the B word.
I see.
Or you have, and I understand in our culture we try to use it as a greeting. I don't feel personally or through my ancestors that using the N word is appropriate either, because of where it came from, where its origins are, and what it really means.
I, I definitely understand that. I do feel that we are definitely speaking of opinions. And I think the reason why I have like it's like hold on, no, I said the new music is sad, depressing, drug infused brainwashing. I can agree with that. There is a lot of that, definitely. Um, I don't feel that I am someone that could judge someone speaking on what they've experienced in their life, even if I don't know what that is. I've never experienced that. I can't fathom that. Does not mean that it doesn't exist. Um, do I believe that there is negative connotations to the things that are being put out because there's nothing else being put out, like in regards to our music? I do believe that there is something behind that. Yes, absolutely. Is there other music? Absolutely. Um, I have a Gen Zer and she listens to everything. I do honestly feel like this is more of an issue of not feeling seen, heard, or understood or validated in any way. And you've been told that in essence, anything that you're going to do is wrong, or no one has your back, or anything like that. If you don't have people like that around you, you're going to be bitter and angry. And we also live in a culture that is pretty much based on fear. And what does fear do? It makes you fear can make somebody very mad and angry, sad, and all those negative connotations that you just said, Nas. And understanding how things are said and communicated, including, like you said, through music, through social media, whatever platform you're getting your entertainment from, not understanding that it is exactly that, just entertainment. you think that this stuff is real life, and it's not.
And a lot of people don't understand. Some of these rappers, they didn't
It's
they
not
didn't
real.
even they didn't even come from quote unquote the hood. They just didn't. And but it's been glorified, and that's a whole nother topic.
Yes,
um and
but
it's been misrepresented and glorified. So it's really unfortunate. But like I said, music is definitely it's a form of communication. It is, but we're not teaching our kids like what we used to listen to back in the day. There ain't no slow songs.
man, I
Ain't no
had to get on an
bumping.
R&B kick, and that's what it gives me.
Ain't no ain't no bumping and grinding going on like
Beat
we
slow
bump.
dance music.
Ooh, yes. You knew if somebody could do the do, okay, because of how they move their hips.
Man, girl, there was this dude back in the day. He could work his hips, and I'd be like, man, I bet. Never found out, but I was really like, I bet he. I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't supposed to be doing shit like that back then, but I did.
There you go. That hip movement will get you every time. But hello, whoever said hello, ladies, please type your name.
So you
We
know who
can
you are.
so we know who you are.
So since we're talking about people not listening, let's talk about active listening styles. So equally important in the way that we listen is the way we listen, which plays a critical role in effective communication. Active listening styles include reflective listening. Reflective listeners respond by echoing the speaker's thoughts
Interesting.
and feelings. Um, they show empathy and understanding by restating the speaker's words. Um, they kind of taught people this in sales. So if you ever went through sales, they taught you this during training. In essence, if you tell them what they just said, they know that you're listening. I just reflected that back to you, which is exactly what that is. Then we have empathetic listening. Empathetic listeners seek to understand and share the emotion of the speaker. They provide emotional support and comfort. I am that person. Guilty as charged. I am that person definitely. It's hard sometimes to not go in when you're because you hear it and you feel it, and it's like it's hard to just not be like, okay, I want to help, I want to fix it, but we have to not do that too sometimes. And the next one is critical listening. Critical listeners evaluate and analyze the speaker's words, looking for evidence and reasoning. This style is often used in academic or professional settings. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, you got to be able to to sometimes decipher what's being said, so and how it affects what you're listening for, and those things. Then we have appreciative listening. Appreciative listeners enjoy and savor the speaker's message. They often use this style when listening to music, stories, or entertainment. Yeah, I think I do this with music, definitely. I hear a song if it's catchy, if I can understand the subject matter. I can feel that. I feel like that kind of goes with empathetic listening as well. So appreciative listening, yeah, I definitely can say I've done that one too. But out of the ones that I've seen, I can honestly say I've done all of them, every last one of them, and more empathetic listening than all of them, honestly. What about you?
um well, definitely the empathetic. I would say for sure. Well, I think, for those folks that don't know, I think the people should know that Siren and I are both empaths. So we feel differently. We feel things, I think, some things we feel more intense,
And
and it,
yeah,
and it has absolutely nothing to do with us, but we
nothing.
we feel it more intensely,
And
maybe than
sometimes, and a lot of the times, sooner than most.
yes, yes. So um definitely that. And then what was this the third one you mentioned? I was trying to remember the name.
Critical,
Yeah, I can do
critical
that.
listening, critical learners, listeners evaluate, analyze the speaker's words, looking for evidence and reasoning.
So you guys should think of that when you're trying to date someone. Hello.
Ooh,
Hello. Hello. You,
ooh.
you want to catch them, date them, honey. You want to catch them, date them. That's what you need to do.
So we said, I have an inactive listening style. I hear you with a nonchalant or distant appearance. While I may not run back every word or chime into your emotions, I hear you, and I may even ask for clearance or a reminder on topic a little down the way. An active listening style. That's not on here, but okay.
And some people, well, that's one of the things I did. That's one of the things I kind of when I'm doing my classes and as I'm finishing up this wonderful book. um that's one of the things we really don't talk about when we're talking about communicating, because everybody feels that communication is about actually, making some sounds or some noises or hand signals or some gestures or the flashcards or things like that, things that you can see or touch or hear, kinds of things. But we don't talk about the listening part, and listening is very much a part of being able to communicate. You have to understand the words that I'm saying. You have to have a little
Because
bit. It
you will not, if you miss it and you come back with a different kind of communication than what was just said, that says you weren't listening.
and so many people, especially with these tune out, zone out, don't have good communication skills. Don't sit around and talk at the dinner table. I was just talking about this with someone the other day. I said, we used to have to come home and get our chores done, eat dinner, but we all sat at the dinner table and not one person had a cell phone or anything like that. But we all talked and communicated and talked about our day and went around the table or whatever the case may be to have that conversation. um I feel like although it's great to have these cell phones, you've got to stop trying to have complete conversations because things get lost
In translation.
in translation. Right. And you're just, yes, it is a form of communication to text, but is it the best form of communication when you're trying to get your point across to someone
I think
or
it's the
you're
worst
trying to
one.
understand what someone else is saying?
I think it's the worst one to do so.
It is. Because there's a lot what we don't talk about when we're texting is I interpret things one way, you interpret things maybe a totally different way. And
And
there has been plenty of relationships, whether they're friendships, business partnerships, or personal relationships, that are falling on the wayside because you're misinterpreting what is being said in a text message.
it's an addiction. I don't. I think what it is you can't know subtext. You can't detect tone, and all caps doesn't mean that that person is mad or angry. I had somebody text me in all caps, and they just didn't know how to turn the shit off. I mean, didn't mean that they was mad. They just had the caps on or whatever. Or if I'm dealing with something in the moment and it may not necessarily be the greatest thing in the world at that moment, and you send a text, you could have actually mean the best or have like a real contrite spirit about, or whatever, or a loving feeling of it. But if I am in a moment of everything is not good right now and I'm reading what you're saying, I'm reading it from the headspace that I'm in, which is not yours. And we completely miss it. So to me, yes, text is the worst way to try to communicate emotions and or feelings.
And I mean, some folks are typing dissertations while they're texting. If you're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you could have just called that person and talked to the person, or call them at a later time, or whatever the case may be.
When you guys can actually have the conversation.
When you actually can have that conversation, exactly, voice to voice, so that you can ask questions and make sure that you're getting the proper understanding of what is being said to you. Um, so many people, even back in the day when I was growing up, he say, she say,
What
you know, ran rampant. It still does.
was the game? Telephone?
Oh my God, yes, that's my favorite. That's my favorite example too. Started out with the word orange and wound up with the word blue. Or bulletproof vest. I'm like, how did you get bulletproof vest out of orange?
For something. So so the next thing is how your style impacts your relationships. Understanding your own communication and listening style is essential for building healthier, more effective relationships. For example, if you tend in, to be passive in communication, you may struggle to express your needs. That's why I was like the passive. I'm nine time out of 10 feeling fearful of or not good about what's happening in the moment, and I'm afraid. Um, if if you are aggressive in your approach, others may perceive you as overbearing. Yeah, because now you're trying to bully me, and I don't like bullies. At least that's where my head goes.
Right.
Um,
And I was going to say, some people are just aggressive by nature, or they are, some people, it's not sometimes always aggression, because sometimes there's some passion in there.
yes, absolutely.
There's some people that are very passionate about either their job or their family or whatever the topic is that you might be talking about at the time. They could be very passionate about it. And I think sometimes we take that as aggressive. And it may not be. It might just be that they're very passionate about it. And that's okay.
I used to have an issue when people would tell me, calm down. I'm like, what are you telling me to calm down? You mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm passionate about what I'm speaking of. Now, that would make me think, well, if you feel like I'm mad or something like that, you might need to check where you are within you, not me. But I digress. Continue.
But well, I mean, it can be, but it could also be a little bit of both. I mean, really, honestly, it could be a little bit. Even though you're passionate about something. You can't really tell the other person how to accept that. I guess is the best way to put that.
You do have a point there, yes.
Um, because it's just like I always have a saying. Well, it's not my responsibility to make me know that you like me. That's
Say
not
that
on
again.
me. It's
Say
not
that again.
it's not my responsibility to make me know that you like me. If you're a guy, we'll say, for example, it's his responsibility to make me know that he likes me, not the other way around, not me. Oh, I'm supposed to what? Chase after you and do all this wonderful crazy crap, and you kind of like me, or you like me for one thing, or you really really like me. You're telling me you really really like me, but I don't hear from you. It's not my responsibility to make me feel like you love me. It's not my responsibility for me to make me feel like you love me, like you care for me, like you want to be with me.
Mm.
That's on you. That's you. That's you to me. You're supposed to make me feel loved, cherished, honored. I shouldn't have to guess. And some things get lost in translation, and you're sitting around guessing. And a lot of times you guess wrong,
Uh,
misinterpret.
he said, or not, and it's a message either way.
Hmm.
Then up here I have I'm political, analytical, and legal. I rarely approach conversations from emotion. You're a Libra. You approach it with both. You have a balanced scale, honey. You approach it with both. You just don't want us to know that. That's okay. Um,
Well, and
continue.
I think too, like when you are talking and when we are talking, like I said, nowadays, we've discussed this before. We don't have conflict resolution, not like we used to. We are not giving our youth opportunities to actually understand what it means to lose, understand what it means to be competitive, understand what it means to have a disappointment and come back from that. um we want to, oh, Johnny didn't make the football team, but I'm gonna still go. He should still get a trophy.
This whole
No,
participation trophy thing is not has not served anyone well.
no, it hasn't, because now you expect something for doing nothing.
Nothing.
You expect something for, and ugh, it continues, folks. It goes from when you were a kid and it goes into adulthood. We got a lot of adults out here that are like Johnny, thinking they're, the bond.com, and because they got participation ribbons, or they mama blew their head up. I'll tell you what I think of. I always think of like Americans Got Talent, and or what was the one where not the Voice, but the one before the Voice.
American Idol.
Yeah, and these people, I used to like it in the beginning when they would come on and well, my mama told me I can sing, and Simon would be like, well, she lied.
Simon was so harsh.
He
He
was
communicated
nice. Like,
well. He was definitely wait. Which one is he? He was definitely an assertive and sometimes aggressive, but he was never passive.
no, no. Now he's learned to temper it, but boy,
So now he's just assertive and not aggressive.
yeah, now he's learned to temper it somewhat. But I'm just saying, he used to just come out and say it like a TIST is, you suck. Okay.
Dude, he hurt my feelings and he wasn't even talking to me. I'm like, damn, just crush a person's spirit. Like, you could at least just be like, no, you didn't. No. He was like, you suck.
Right. One of our Facebook fans says, the men today want to tell you they like you,
I want you to tell.
want to tell you they like you. I think that's what it says. Put something on action, then get mad
If you
that
don't ever
you don't
contact them.
ever contact them.
Okay, I think see what she's saying. They want you to tell them. They want you to tell them you like them, and then put no action in to you to getting to know you or anything like that, and then get mad when you don't be
It's
like,
just
hey, or be thirsty. Yes, that's what I got from that.
yeah, and I think it's both sides right now. When you stop and you think about it, it's both sides that are just not communicating well at all. We are
Hmm.
not
No one
talking.
is communicating properly. No one.
What we are not talking, we are not listening, we are not hearing. um and a lot of people, I think, are getting into I, me.
Purple. That's purple.
Okay.
That's her. That's her.
um
So let me finish out this last part really quick.
okay.
Additionally, knowing your active listening styles can help you become more supportive and a more supportive and attentive partner, friend, or colleague. By matching your listening styles to the needs of the speaker, you can create stronger connections and avoid misunderstandings. Um, then we go to improving your communication and listening skills, because like we said, we everybody is just all we're not really communicating properly. No one is feeling seen, heard, understood, or validated. We're just all over the place. So improving your communication and listening skills is a journey of self-awareness and practice. Here are some strategies to consider, because yes, this is a self-practice. You have to do this. You can't expect someone else to do the work and you don't. That's just real not cool. Self awareness. Reflect on your communication and listening styles. What are your strengths and weaknesses, and what can you work on? Um, my strengths is I feel that I do feel that being an empathetic listener is a strength for me. Um, I do reflective listening because I want to make sure that I'm actually understanding you properly. That's another one, because again, you might have said that but might have meant something completely different. I've been there in that kind of situation. Turned out okay because I was like, I don't understand. Sometimes people don't want to say I don't understand for fear of looking like they just are not listening. So I can understand that as well. Weakness. Sometimes I think I might be too critical in the listening part. And the other weakness that I saw as far as the communication part, I have definitely been passive aggressive before, and I don't like that. That's a weakness to me.
I think for me, my weakness would be that I don't like to say anything that I feel is going to hurt someone that I care about.
Mm,
So sometimes I don't say anything, and because I'm like we both have just stated, we're both empaths, so I don't want to feel I can feel what I'm going to say to them is going to hurt them before
mm,
I say it. So therefore I try to choose not to say it. So, but that's not a good thing either because sometimes it builds up and booyah, you're going to get the whole full throttle. It came out my mouth the way it came out my mouth. Because now I'm 60 and I can say whatever the hell I feel like. And so there you go.
I think once you hit 40, your fucks just go away.
Yeah, 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 they
You're
do.
like, I don't give no fucks. You just
Zero. I give zero. Zero.
and it's not in a fuck you kind of way. It's in a either you getting it or you not or you don't get it.
Right.
I like you said, I can't make you get it.
Mm-mm. And that's really really key because I think a lot of people think that if they put something out in the atmosphere vocally, that it's just supposed to be, or somebody is just supposed to accept it, or somebody is just supposed to fall in line, whatever the case may be. But you just because you say certain things, it doesn't mean everybody's going to react the way that you want them to. And I
Yes.
think that's, like I said, for me, that sometimes is a fear of mine when I'm speaking. And then, of course, I don't want to be, especially since I work in this field of eroticism and sex. And, but I am learning. I'm learning to navigate what I say it, how I present it, um, so that people will understand that although, yeah, I like sex. I do. But I'm an educator first. That's what I am. I'm an educator. And I don't need dick pics in my inbox. Because I'm Ms. Juicy and I talk about fellatio or I'll talk about oral pleasuring. and you all think that you need to send me a dick pic. Why? Did I ask for one? Do do
Did I
you
ask for yours?
do you think that I've never seen one before? I mean, I'm just trying to understand what the I didn't ask for it. Uh, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna ask for it. Because first of all, I like live. I don't do Memorex. I want the person that goes with.
Can I get an amen?
I do live.
Don't send me unsolicited dick pics. I feel like that's what it. Oh my god, who did it? Just Setting Jasmine called it ocular rape.
Yeah,
Or oh no, ocular assault.
yeah.
It is
'Cause
ocular assault.
there
I'm
you
sorry,
go.
I didn't mean to say the R word. Ocular assault is what she called it. Because if I didn't ask you for it, why are you sending it to me? I'm not a person that likes that anyway.
And
And I
believe
think
me,
if a woman wants it, she'll ask.
she'll ask. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. And that's the first thing that you want to send me. I'm good. I pass, honey. I sell them. So no, we're not doing all that.
Like
That's
I'm live and in living color. Oof.
it's like it's just for me because you don't know me and you don't know you're not really getting to know me. You're not going to know me. Um,
No, I said send one back.
I have, right? I have. I have. Oh, thank you. Oh, yours looks almost as good as mine.
Hey!
Or I'll send them or I'll send them a picture of one of my dildos that we sell.
Woo!
And
That
it's
big
like,
one,
right,
that
right,
real big girthy one.
right. Absolutely.
Ooh.
I'm like, oh, you don't compare to this. I'm sorry. This is my toy. Yeah. Goodbye. I mean, dude, you just have to I have to be creative, but I can tell you honestly say that. But yeah,
Okay.
and if they're persistent, then I just tell them about their little dick. So
Ooh.
anyway,
Oh, and then you bring out Mistress Juicy. Okay, so next one is
we
the
just
next strategy. I hate them from people I've never had a conversation with or no intimate connection. Absolutely, I don't like them from any. If I didn't ask you for it, don't send it to me. Period. So
that's about
the
communication. It's communication, folks.
okay,
Communication.
communication. The next strategy is practice active listening. Try to engage in empathetic or reflective listening during your conversations, especially when someone needs emotional support. I can definitely understand that because that's a person that actually is looking to be seen, heard, understood, and validated in that moment. I'm needing to be able to express and feel that I can do that with you. And when you are in that empathetic or reflective listening, I can see how that's definitely going to make the person feel a lot more comfortable in wanting to express themselves.
I can agree with that, definitely. Yeah.
The next one is assertiveness training. If you struggle with assertiveness, consider seeking training or coaching to develop your ability to express your needs and boundaries confidently.
Hmm.
That's going to come with that empathetic and reflective listening, because if I don't have that, I'm most likely not going to feel like I can actually speak to somebody to ask me that, or help me with that kind of thing. But I do think that that could help.
I think,
Um,
and here's the thing: some folks don't even realize that they're not assertive. They're very much stuck in a almost docile state, or they're very what do I want to say, reserved. I think reserved is a good word for it. They're reserved by nature, and maybe even by trauma. Maybe they don't speak up or speak out due to um something in their past or some trauma. I know I've had people that were like that, and they don't. And I think you mentioned the word earlier, Siren, saying fear. So fear plays a part in that as well, for being able to speak your mind and being able to.
Yeah, the past traumas, like if you did speak up once and maybe your parents got upset with you, or you got in trouble for speaking truth, and therefore since that situation happened, then now you no longer want to speak, and you feel like, well, if I do tell the truth, then I'm going to get in trouble.
Hmm.
And you can even carry that into your adult life, thinking that you can still get in trouble, and therefore you just don't do it. So I can definitely understand that.
Hmm.
um The last one is conflict resolution skills, which you spoke about that already today in this one. Learn effective conflict resolution strategies such as using I statements and practicing active listening during disagreements. Um, you want to talk about that one? Really, just kind of reiterate it.
This one, say it again. Say there was something I had a thought. Read it again. Read it again.
Learning is learn effective conflict resolution strategies such as using I statements and practicing active listening during disagreements.
I statements. Okay. Um, when you're conflict resolution is about being able to utilize all of your communication skills. And I think conflict resolution to me is best resolved to me in person, or via if you have to be on Zoom, that's fine. If you're in one, at least you can see each other. I feel that that portion conflict resolution is it's very important that you can see each other. I don't feel that not being able to use one of your senses trying to resolve a conflict between you and another person is actually going to work. And what I mean is, like, you can't resolve conflict with a text message, or even with an email message. I feel you need to be toe to toe, person to person, across the table, whatever it might be, a Zoom camera, something along those ways. Like, you know, just to get your point across and make sure that nothing is misunderstood. But when we have what we have nowadays, whether people realize it or not, it is definitely a direct correlation between poor conflict resolution now and
Is your hand by your microphone?
with children. Why? What happened?
You
No.
just moved your hand.
Hello.
It was a little muffled.
Oh, okay. Um, Conflict resolution nowadays is a little. It starts with the youth. It starts with them knowing how to handle um a situation that might be a little difficult for them, or a little uncomfortable, and being able to get themselves out of that situation, maybe to a better situation. um we have a lot of people nowadays, and the jails are full of them, full of people that are not able to handle conflict resolution. They are not able to handle conflict, and they don't really give a damn about a resolution. And their idea of dealing with a conflict is to pull out a gun and shoot somebody, or go on national television and make a bunch of false remarks and call people names.
Yep.
So there's an old saying, folks, when you're getting into some of these situations where you feel that you're right and the other person is wrong, you can simply just say, we are going to agree to disagree.
Disagree.
I hear what you're saying. I hope and I respect what you're saying, but we are going to agree to disagree on this. And that's fine, because
Mm-hmm.
because everybody has an opinion and it's okay. It's just like even on our show, we don't always agree on every little thing, every little portion of the topic. So it's okay to agree to disagree. I haven't shot either one of these two recently at all. Shots fired, shots fired. No,
Ah,
I haven't done this. Boom, boom. I haven't done that. you know, hey, the Academy Award goes to. So there's a way to do this, but we're not talking about it. We're not teaching it, and
we're not even implementing it. So
right.
no, we can't be teaching it.
No,
Nobody's doing it. Who's doing it?
and you can't understand why we're having the situations and the things that we're having. Here's a prime example. We got people dying by the thousands across the overseas and stuff, doing all this fighting y- because two people can't come together. So a bunch of innocent people are displaced, killed, or missing, or harmed or maimed in some kind of way, shape, form, or fashion because two people, with all this communication that we have, can't possibly get it together. Excuse me.
It's about power. But yeah. So, in our increasingly connected world, effective communication and listening skills are more critical than ever.
Boy.
They really are. Oh shit. Damn it. Okay. Um
Gotta go.
no, by understanding your communication and listening styles and actively working on improving them, you can foster healthier, more harmonious relationships in all aspects of your life. Damn it. Um, I broke a nail.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and that is what I have for our show on understanding communication styles.
yay! It was very, very informative.
Wait, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And it's very important, folks. We do have to know how to communicate, and we do need to do a better job of it because we are losing too many people, too many youth, too many adults to poor communication skills, to not being able to communicate with your wife, to not being able to communicate with your fiance, to not being able to communicate with your girlfriend or your parents or your friends or your coworkers,
Your kids,
your children, right? Well, some of them,
anybody outside of you.
you're gonna have to take things with a grain of salt. You're gonna have to take things a little slower, and stop being on, like, you guys go from like 0 to 9,000,
Real quick.
and some of this stuff is not that deep. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you what is deep. A grave is deep. Okay, let me tell you, that grave is deep. And the grave that you're going to be in if you get caught, if you're the person that has done harm to someone else, because you're going away for a long time. It affects everyone. I wish people would think of this before they go into a rage and they pick up a gun and they shoot somebody, or they go shoot up a school, because it's no fun going to prison. It's no fun. I can't really, I've met criminals and I've worked in criminal probation, and I just don't remember anyone saying that they had the time of their life in prison.
Man, I had a blast in prison. Don't you know?
I just I haven't, in that little cell where they can't see the ocean, or they can't go on vacation, or uh I I've not heard of too many wonderful experiences while being in prison. So really think about what's going to happen to you, and don't think that a psych ward is going to save you, because it's not necessarily going to happen like that when you get to
It's
court.
definitely, but it is definitely life changing.
Oh, yes, it is. Maybe not for the best. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying it's life changing.
I'm saying it may not be for the best. I may not. You might enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe that's your thing. That's your zhush. We're not gonna pass no judgment.
No judgment
But
at all.
but I'm gonna stay out here where I can.
Yeah, because this is the only orange that's my color on my nails. I don't want to have to dress in orange, but yeah.
Well, they're gonna change mine to purple. But anyway, I'm gonna I'm gonna be running cell block D. But
Uh oh.
whoops, yeah, yeah. Well done, ma'am. I truly hope that
Thank you.
people
Thank
got a
you.
little something from this. Remember that communicating is not just talking, but it's also listening. It is also, you listen with more than one thing. You can listen with your eyes, make sure their body movements match what they're saying. Listen with your ears, just
Intuition.
into stay present. Don't stay present. Um, and just take it down a notch or two or three. Some of you take it down. Shoo, down, please. Well, thank you, honey. I loved it. I know
Thank.
Purple Rain is sitting in the cut somewhere,
Yes,
so
I miss her. Yes, I miss you already. Yeah.
so hopefully she can get that taken care of by next week. Cause next week is Miss JewCee. She is back and it's already posted, y'all. We gonna be talking about some adult toys. Yes, yes, yes. Might even see some.
Oh,
So you definitely want to tune in next Monday night, because we gonna have a good time. We about to have some fun up in here, up in cheer.
I might need to get some to unbox from you.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. Wait a minute. When you said what you said, I'm like, "Ooh, let me go find my Chippendale. It's right in my bag.
Hey,
I got
my Chippendale does me nice. Very nice. I love my Chippendale still, and I have not burnt him out yet.
I have mine. I
It's been
still
how many years?
That's a long time. That's about that
He he
Chippendale's
he
about
he durable, man. He durable.
he's about 10 years old. He is older than 10, I do believe.
No, 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 no. He about 7.
Okay.
He might be about 7. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, maybe she'll bring out that Chippendale and show everybody. But we're not gonna show you now. You gotta come and
I haven't decided yet. I'll decide by next week.
maybe. I did say like maybe. But anyway, guys, we hope you had a good time tonight. I know I did. I learned a lot. That was some really good info. If you missed any portion of the show, you can tune in to us on our platforms at any.
Anytime that we would like. Go ahead.
And oh, I'm sorry, I hit the music by accident.
And then it cuts her out.
It cuts me out. Hold on. Okay, we muted her. So yes, and you guys can listen to the show anytime that you would like on our different various channels. And like I said, make sure you tune in next Monday night for another marvelous Monday right here on JC Tales Erotic Chat. We start at 10:30 p.m. for our folks in Barbados. Yes. 9:30 p.m. on the East Coast, 8:30 Central Standard, and 6:30 for our folks all out on that West Coast. Getting hot. Getting hot.
Let's see.
Getting hot. Yeah. So make sure you tune in. Got a hot topic. We're gonna have some fun with it next week. You never know. Miss JewCee might just give away a toy. Mm. Mm. So tune in. Be a part of the adult conversation. For myself, Miss JewCee and Siren, and our beautiful, technically challenged tonight, Purple Rain. come back and see us. Remember to enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism. And we'll see you next Monday night. Bye bye.